But now let's get into the upcoming Disney Plus shows and Phase 4 movies. So, what are you guys looking forward to for Phase 4?
Doctor Strange. Hands down. Doctor Strange too.
Out of what they've shown so far, if I'm going to go by like trailers, I am definitely interested in Doctor Strange too. Spider-Man, I'm interested in, but that's more of like nostalgic reasons, like
Yeah.
because at Spider-Man 2, the with Tobey Maguire, that's like still my favorite live action Spider-Man movie. Like nothing. So the fact that I got to see Doc Ock again, I'm like, yes. Inner 10-year-old me is like, oh yes, he's back. So, but besides that, Wakanda Forever, I'm super interested in because it's supposed to be introducing Iron Man's protege, Ironheart, and also I'm with all the things surrounding, Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. I'm really interested to see how they deal with that and move forward from it. Like, who will there be another Black Panther?
Yeah.
How will all that? How will all that like play into the greater MCU? Like, Wakanda was already making strides to kind of be more inclusive in the world with the subsequent disappearance. Because I don't know how they're gonna address Chadwick passing in the movie. Like, if they're gonna just say that T'Challa died, or if he's missing or something, how that'll affect that as well. So it'd be really interesting to see how they move forward from everything. So based on like the real world ramifications, I'm interested, but also the MCU ramifications of like everything that surrounds that. I'm also interested in that as well.
That's a good point because this would be the first time that I want to say this is the first time that the MCU would be tackling a real actor death into the universe. So, as long as they don't do it like Fast and the Furious did, I think we'll be fine.
I think we'll be fine. I think they have
rest
to.
in peace to Paul Walker, but I think like
they have to.
It goes into the issue. Real quick. I'm gonna touch on this real quick. It just goes into the issue of that they don't stop making movies, and every time they make a movie, they put Paul Walker's character in it, and it's kind of like, okay,
oh yeah, in
sure.
sentences or stuff, or like
right,
he's driving his car. Yeah, it is kind of odd. I like the trick because for the movie when he did pass, they had a little tribute at the end. I thought that was tasteful.
But they were mid filming.
It's just
so
yeah.
But I think after that they should have let it go, or they should have did it differently if they were going to continue to involve him. But the only reason I brought that up is because you did bring up a good point with Chadwick Boseman's passing and how are they going to deal with that in the movie and with Phase 4 going forward, because Black Panther, how it started, how they integrated him into Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, he had the potential to become the next powerhouse of the new generation of Marvel heroes.
Yeah, a definite potential leader to the next Avengers. Well, if we still have the Avengers, but like the next Avengers and stuff like that, he could have been a very influential voice on the team. So it'll be interesting to see how they. I don't want to say recover because in my head that doesn't sound too good, but like how they'll move forward, I guess. With that project.
That's a good way to put it.
And I would have to agree with Push. I would hope that they don't go the Paul Walker route. I just think they need to lay it on the rest somehow respectfully throughout the movie and just let, like Portia said, just be done with it. Because every time we don't want to be every time we bring up Black Panther, it's just R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman that we bringing him up every single time, and it's just like, well, we know he can't appear because he's not here anymore. So we just like Portia said, we just need to lay him down respectively and just move on.
Yeah.
Right. Or every time we mention Wakanda, they bring up, well, T'Challa sent us this. Yeah. Well, T'Challa really didn't. Why is he sending y'all stuff and not helping you guys with stuff? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then it's just like, if especially him being the king and everything, it's just like, how would you pull that off with him being the king of Wakanda now?
Yeah.
And like, he can't govern Wakanda without being in Wakanda. So they're gonna have to lay him down respectfully and just like Portia said once again, just let it go. And just let it go. But yeah, that's all I had on that.
Besides that, besides the other ones I mentioned, I just want to mention one more. The Marvels I'm also somewhat interested in because Photon. I'm definitely interested to see what they're gonna do with Photon. I forget her real name. She was in
Monica Rambeau.
WandaVision. Monica Rambeau.
There you go.
And also Miss Marvel will be introduced in her own series and eventually show up in that movie.
Oh,
so
will that be a Disney Plus series?
Yeah, Miss Marvel's gonna be a Disney Plus series.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see how that one will also play out, especially considering Captain Marvel. Like we've already just somewhat discussed it a little bit, but like Captain Marvel's movie was so like kind of like lackluster, in points. I would like to see how it is when she's like when it's not like, oh, I'm trying to establish this character, but this character is already a thing. Let's see how this how she works, how she operates, especially when she has like a team surrounded her. So I would like to see how that moves forward, especially with I won't say what she was doing, but she makes an appearance in Shang-Chi at some point, and so
like even to like not even say what she was doing, because if you've seen Shang-Chi and when Captain Marvel appears, we still don't know what she's been doing.
Oh, that's true.
You're referring to Captain Marvel. Okay. Okay.
So
well,
I mean, her hair grew back. We know that happened.
Well, I guess. Well, speaking of Shang-Chi, I almost said once. Speaking of Shang-Chi, when do you guys think this movie takes place in the timeline? Because I want to say it takes place after Endgame. Most definitely,
it's definitely after Endgame. It's definitely after Endgame. At the beginning of the movie. Yeah,
because they had that little talk when it was inside the bar, and she was like, "We know we live in a world now where half the universe can disappear and with the snap." Just I figured from that line that it took place after Endgame, but I just they just never really confirmed it. But like I said, I just took it from that.
I'm not sure where in because all the Disney Plus shows have taken place after Game. If you're talking about that timeline, I'm not sure where it falls in between the series.
Well, no, I'm not necessarily talking about the Disney Plus series. Just saying, like, because it's either taking place during the 5-year span of Endgame or directly after Endgame, and so
it's after. Okay.
Yeah,
it's after.
I mean, to Alex's point, I mean, we can guesstimate all we want, but we really don't know like when officially all because of these are taking place.
Are we talking Shang-Chi spoilers here?
No.
We're trying to be as very light.
Okay.
Very light if possible.
All right. So I'm gonna leave that point alone then. It's
okay. We can talk about it.
It's one other thing that happened towards the end. It's just like, well, are we after Endgame or not? But it's just like I said, I'll just say that one.
I would say we are. And I would say we are. To not give too many spoilers, the end credit scene definitely confirmed that this is after for one specific reason.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It could be, but it's all right. But other than spoilers, Shang-Chi overall was definitely a good movie. It was definitely Marvel did their thing. They came out and showed me why I should care about Shang-Chi. It had a lot of Bruce Lee type, Jackie Chan type action in it, so I think that was good. And it was just an overall good movie. So I think Marvel did a very good job with Shang-Chi.
I feel like Alex just wanted to sneak that in there because we're definitely talking about what we're looking for Phase 4.
I mean, what we're talking about, but we started talking about shit.
And Alex wanted to sneak in. He thought Shang-Chi was a really good. It is. But he wanted to go ahead and sneak that in there.
It's part of Phase 4, though. It's part of Phase 4, though.
He missed the beginning conversation.
Yeah, you got to show up on
it's okay.
time.
I had to get my 2 cents in.
He had to slide that in there real quick, but
real
smooth.
But as far as the overall Phase 4, definitely, I'm waiting to see what Eternal's talking about. A lot of these trailers ain't really been catching my maybe this very last trailer really caught my interest in all the other ones, but I'm really waiting to see what the ramification of the Eternals will have on the MCU now, because where have y'all been all this time? In the trailer it was like, well, we can't interfere with human problems. Well, okay, whatever. But now that y'all here, what does this mean? Are the Celestials coming back now the Eternals are coming? Or do we have to deal with Galactus or something sometime in the future because the Eternals are coming? Like, what is going on? Why are we here? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think Ace started with the Doctor Strange movie being the one he was looking forward to, and that's one I'm looking forward to. Having Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Wanda being who she is now, and Loki in the same movie. Yes.
I'm calling it.
And touching on the fact that when they first announced the movie, that they said it was going to be a horror type film. And the third circling rumor, I only seen it once, that Wanda is going to be a possible villain in
I
this
called
movie.
it. I called it.
So there's a lot of factors that is making me very excited for this movie. So that's my number one pick for what's coming up. Definitely Black Panther and Blade.
Oh, I forgot about Blade.
And lastly, I want to say Thor: Love and Thunder. The fact that they're bringing Natalie Portman back, that she's going to be a female Thor, and where is this going to fit in, and also what is this fourth Thor movie going to, because he's given up the throne of Asgard to Valkyrie. Last thing we saw
supposed to be a member
of the Guardians of the Galaxy now.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how they play that into his movie.
Yeah.
And if and you may know more than me, Jay, based on the comics, if Natalie Portman being Thor plays into the multiverse thing that they have going on for this phase.
I didn't even consider it. This could, based on, we're not going to spoil it, but watch Loki. Watch Loki. Well, I didn't even think of that. You're right. It could be that. Oh wow.
So those are my top 4 picks.
This is solid. I think everyone here has some solid stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not really excited. I'll go ahead and go into what I'm not excited for, or they need to give me, or I just need to see the trailers to get into it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The first Guardians of the Galaxy was great. Loved it. The second one was I won't say that I didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but it didn't give me that same feeling as Guardians of the Galaxy 1. And
I can understand that, because 2 was a lot more to deal with the explanation of why Peter could hold an Infinity Stone in the first place.
Yeah.
It was more like that. I mean, I'm not saying it was bad. I enjoyed it as well. Like, before anybody starts saying like, "Oh, he didn't like it," I enjoyed both Guardians of the Galaxy movies. But 2, if you gotta admit, 2 was not as good as 1. It had a lot. It had a lot of character growth moments, and I like that about it. But it still wasn't as finite, well-written story as 1, because it felt like partway through 2, it felt like, oh, we need an excuse for Rocket and Groot to meet back up with the rest of the crew. The Ravengers.
The Ravengers.
Right. So that's the only reason. I need to see the trailer. Oh my. I need to see the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 to actually say, okay, I'm feeling it. Captain Marvel 2, it's because what Jay said before is with Captain Marvel was kind of like a lackluster movie. So I'm interested to see, because there's a lot of elements that can play into Captain Marvel 2 that could hold my interest, but I have to see how they're going to play on it, because at the end of the first Captain Marvel, the villain of the movie, I can't remember his name, she let him go. She sent them back to their planet or whatever, and was basically like, tell your master to F off. So she did that at the end of the first movie. But that was like in the 90s, and we don't see the ramifications from that. 2, Monica Rambeau becoming Photon, and the beef, I don't want to call it a big beef, but the tension that we felt when they brought up Captain Marvel to Monica
anybody
Rambeau.
Asked her about it?
They actually, like, you could feel the tension, and then it's like, oh, so they got beef. Like, what's up? What's going on with that?
Well, I mean, if I could make any guesses, that it was her godmom, and she did just kind of peace out, and her mom, was dealing with cancer and all this, that, and the other. So she could hold like a
resentment, where were you
type. Yeah, like where the heck were you? You know, so
or you only came back when everybody
these
started
people needed you
disappearing and stuff. And that's
but not your family,
right? And that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of factors that they could put into this Captain Marvel 2 movie. I just need to know where they're going with it, and hoping that it doesn't turn out to be the lackluster type of thing that it was in Phase 3. And also, where does she play in with all of this multiverse stuff going down?
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, because I feel like the end of Multiverse of Madness is really going to have some major ramifications for,
or maybe even
the series as a whole. I mean, Spider-Man definitely. I feel like Spider-Man is the hat tip to Multiverse of Madness almost.
Okay,
so that's why I think the end of it will definitely have ramifications. It's just I feel like it's more leading to Multiverse of Madness, because it kind of kicked off the whole. Well, not it. Well, most of Loki kicked off the multiverse thing, but this has really opened the doorway to stuff's getting crazy.
Yeah,
I would especially agree. From like the trailer.
So I would agree. I think the rest of them I'm looking forward to. Weirdly enough, I'm excited for Ant-Man. I would say Ant-Man 1, I did like it, but it was Ant-Man 2 for me. I guess when they introduced, well, she was already introduced, but when you get Ant-Man in the Wasp, in the teamwork, and then her character, I really enjoyed that. And then you tie in the quantum realm with all of that. And so I'm kind of excited for Ant-Man. But going into the Disney Plus shows that I'm excited for, I would have to say, I don't know. I guess because of the private conversations I've had with you, McMillian, is Secret Invasion, Ironheart being her being Iron Man's protege, and the fact that she's going to show up in Wakanda forever. I don't know. Hawkeye, I am excited for Hawkeye because of Black Widow. So in a sense, Black Widow has value because of what I feel like is going to go down in the Hawkeye series. But I don't know. I guess the rest of them, I won't say I'm not interested. I think I just need to see like the teaser trailers and stuff to see, is this the type of show that I want to watch? Is this the type of character that I really want to dive into? What's up, y'all? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get more updates from the mob. For the full discussion and more discussions like this one, click the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Rock with it, let me pop my shit. Let me pop my shit. Hands up.